Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Grand Tactician Civil War. Picking up where we left off. We just hit these two armies right by Richmond, and I gotta say, as soon as they start pulling back, I think it is a great time, a perfect opportunity for us to look at capturing Richmond. Um, it's not something I thought I would say. Um, at the start of our last episode, we've been talking about going back and forth between trying to capture Tennessee and things like that. But all things that consider that just happened, and I think we're in a really good position to try and capture Richmond. I'm gonna have the army of northeastern Virginia come down, right, to help protect the flank, and I think we'll have the army of New York coming down to also, hit them and try and just make a new front line. And I had to admit, I'm pretty excited about it. I'll have to move and work a little quickly on this fort if we can, just because uh, we don't want to give the Confederates an opportunity to come up from Fort Smith and hit, cut on our supply lines. But we're doing okay. Right there until New York comes up. All right, and fighting out west, out in Tennessee. We'll see if we can't push those guys back. No, I hate to say it, but I think we are going to have to force a river crossing today. This may be our first really big kind of slugfest. If this goes the way I kind of anticipate that it will, not enthusiastic about that at all. But, you know, I guess when we're on the offensive, then, sometimes we got to be the ones forcing a river crossing. I will, I'll see you guys as we get closer to the enemy. All right, everybody. Um, Welcome back. I'm not quite inside of the enemy, but I'm also wondering if maybe, just maybe, I have found a way for us to not have to force a crossing. Now, we'll still have to fight on the other side of the river, and we're still going to have to cross the river to do that, right? Because we know that's, you know, the objective right here. But I'm wondering, what I would suspect is that their defenses are either right here, guarding this bridge, or guarding this bridge, or right here on the objective itself. What I'm going to try and do is see if we can't get across on this little ford right here and just kind of move at first kind of straight back, like right over here. That way we can get most or more of our troops across the river before the enemy shows up to attack. Now, I also think that based on the time, right, because it's 17:11, so it's getting on towards the afternoon, or excuse me, getting on in the evening, that we're likely to see um, most of the fighting tomorrow. Um, just as a bit of a trying to get things set up here, you know. So the other thing that I'm really trying to do by using this ford and some of the main bridges is kind of screen our forces, hide them from the enemy using the trees. So the farther up we can get towards the objective without the enemy knowing where we are, the better, in my opinion. So are definitely, oh, and there's the end of the day, but they are definitely set up to stop us on these approaches. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some more over here. So, yep. Our troops up a little bit, um, but not so much that they would have been kind of unnecessarily advanced, right? Like we could put them all over here. I don't want to do that. That feels a little bit like cheating to me. What we'll do is we'll put them where they would have been, where we would have camped for the night. So, oh, well, they know where we are because they are shooting. So I guess in some ways, we will still have to, unfortunately, force a river crossing. Just came from here, you can see the smoke clouds. So they definitely pulled back to hold the objective itself. Which, I mean, I don't blame them, but does does make our job a little bit more difficult, but that's all right. Speed up time here a little bit and see you guys whenever we're ready to attack. All right, we're kind of moving into our final pre-battle positions, I think. We are a little bit under artillery fire, but nothing too crazy so far. Yeah, looks like the fighting has officially started. Scouting out things a little bit, but I don't think the enemy's going to be coming from behind us. Say it that way. Definitely sacrifice that artillery unit though, or that cavalry unit. Or they're trying to. I admit, I'm kind of surprised that they're taking so little of their casualties there, but okay. We're gonna try and get a pretty fast movement over here. Just to see if we can't get some of these guys in position to threaten their flank.
Grab that wheel and push! Grab that wheel and push! Right shoulder! Shift! Arm! How much longer, son? Right shoulder!
Okay. Well, that's good for us. Theoretically, there's supposed to be two armies here, but to be honest, I didn't see a whole lot of resistance so far.
Moving men! Get that! Keep the pieces! Fill that gap, private! Forward steady!
is retreating, we are going to do our best to make sure that they don't have an opportunity to get all the way out of here. Because, yeah, no, we want to take out some of these units. The more damage we can do, the better. Okay, nice. Just like that. I don't know why. I don't know why these guys broke, but okay.
Rally on the colors! Bayonets at the ready!
All right, 900 to 4100. That's not bad. Could have done a little better if our cavalry hadn't decided to bug out there at the end, but that's all right. All right, we'll leave it here, and I will see you all next time. As always, comments, tips, suggestions in the comments are always welcome, and feel free to let me know what you think our next steps should be in this war. I will see you guys next time. Dragonheart, signing off.